All right, don't forget to turn off your phones, or at least turn them down. And Mr. Curran gets any documents that you have for us. Speaking of phones. Yeah. And then, as we always do, we begin with an invocation and with the pledge today. Sharon's doing the invocation. The prosecuting attorney, Mr. Vigansky, is doing the pledge.
If you would like to bow your head and please join me. Heavenly Father, in this season of light and goodwill, may we be guided by wisdom, fairness, and compassion in the decisions we make. Let our discussions be marked by respect, understanding, and a shared commitment to the well-being of all those we represent. As we look towards a new year, may we carry forward the lessons learned, the partnership strengthened, and the hope that our work will continue to make positive difference. We give thanks for the opportunity to serve, for the trusted place in us, and for the spirit of cooperation that unites us. May peace, joy, and renewal be with each of us, our families, and our communities in the days ahead. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, amen.
Amen. Jerry?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, yeah, we do. We're good. Madam Clerk, PHS will be here momentarily. But we'll go ahead and do a roll call and they'll join. In fact, I see Commissioner Harrison coming via the restroom, so they should be here in a minute. But roll call, please.
Bell.
Here.
Curran.
Here.
Freeling. Present. Harrison. Enkelman. Pitchford.
Present.
Ott.
Present.
Tyler. Here. Borath.
Here.
Werfel. Yarborough.
Present.
Elliott.
Here.
You have 10.
Thank you. Is Julie in Germany now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Minutes from last week need to be approved.
So moved.
Moved by Freeling. Is there support? Supported by Volrath. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. I understand we have some communications.
Southwest Michigan route update free Jolly Trolley, December 12th through 13th, email received 12/12. Actually sent that out earlier ahead of, since it had a due date. Resolution number 25-592 from Ingham County, resolution urging transparency and comprehensive regulatory framework and local data centers development, email received 12/16, along with the resolution attachment. A note of thanks from Annette Christie, email received 12/16. Cornerstone Alliance, the latest news for you, email received 12/17.
Thank you. Before we get to the consent calendar, public comments about any resolution on the consent calendar. If you have anything you'd like to say about any of the resolutions, now is your time. Including the added resolutions. There are 5 of them on the back side of the agenda.
Elder Hager, I got a question on requisitions approved. They're going on here from the jail.
You have a requisition number?
It's over here, $2 million. 82. 82082. Vitality Health Strategies.
Hey, just a second. I'm sorry. It's the requisition list. So it's,
Requisition list.
yes, yep. And that number that he gave you is the reference number on there.
Anyway, they're $2,658,000. Who wrote the check on that one? Well, why is it $2 million? Is it just a yearly thing or
It's
Once
the
a year or was it a monthly?
contract for healthcare for inmates.
For when? For a whole year?
Yeah.
Why'd you put that on there? Why don't they have to?
I'm glad you're looking. We're testing to see if you're paying attention, Mr. Pelcher. Any other questions? Anyone have anything else? Okay. All right, then we'll go into the consent calendar. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar with the 5 added resolutions, but excluding the honorary resolution ending in 990? Moved by Pitchford. Is there support? Supported by Volrath. Any discussion about the consent calendar and the added resolution? All right, hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling. Yes. Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman.
Yes.
Pitchford,
Yes.
Ott, Tyler,
Yes.
Bullrath,
Yes.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Elliot,
Yes.
Bell.
Yes. Okay. The one we pulled is in a frame. We've signed it twice. The framed one has permanent record grade paper, which means over time, it should still look the way it looks today. I'll read it and then I'll look for support. Bering County Board of Commissioners, Resolution B 251-21990, December 18, 2025, honoring Gerald L. Vigansky. The Honorable Board of Commissioners of Berrien County, Michigan approves the following resolution. Whereas Gerald L. Jerry Vigansky grew up in Bridgman, graduating from Bridgman High School, and whereas post-high school, he pursued a law degree, ultimately graduating from Hope College and Valparaiso University, Valpo School of Law. Whereas Jerry began his legal career in Berrien County in the fall of 1990, serving as an intern in the prosecutor's office. And whereas while awaiting his bar exam results in the fall of 1991, he was employed as a temporary Assistant Prosecutor 1, and subsequently was hired full-time as Assistant Prosecutor 2 on December 31, 1991. And whereas this marks the 35th year Jerry has provided exemplary service for the citizens of Berrien County. And whereas that service being positively acknowledged not only by the prosecutor's office, but by the court and even the defense side of the law, that he is noted as firm but flexible. And whereas throughout his distinguished career, Jerry handled thousands of cases, ranging from local ordinances to misdemeanors to serious felonies, including nearly 100 jury trials. Notably, he prosecuted 11 first-degree murder cases, including the 1993 Tracy Martin case, which marked the first time DNA evidence was introduced at trial in Berrien County, and also handled the first and only case in Berrien County solved through the use of genetic genealogy. I did not know that. And whereas during his tenure, Jerry contributed to the Berrien County Drug Court for several years and has served as the senior attorney in the Niles office for the past decade. And whereas Jerry will be retiring at the end of 2025. Now therefore, be it hereby resolved that the Berrien County Board of Commissioners expresses its deepest appreciation and gratitude to Jerry Vigansky for his outstanding service, dedication, and leadership, and wishes him a happy, healthy, and well-deserved retirement. Be it further resolved that Jerry's life, actions, and contributions reflect most favorably on himself, his family, the county of Berrien, state of Michigan, and the United States of America. And I respectfully move adoption of this resolution.
I'll support.
Is there support by acclamation? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution approved. Jerry, if you wish, the microphone's on up at the dais if you'd like to say a word or two. You don't have to, but we'd be happy for you to do so. Yeah, he does look young. He doesn't look-
What I would like to say is it's been an honor and privilege to work for Berrien County, for the citizens of Berrien County, and for this prosecutor's office here in Berrien County. Ms. Bird, my current employer, is my seventh. I've worked with 7 prosecutors. They all have left me on and not kicked me off, so I really appreciate that. I wish to thank my wife and my family for all the support they have given me over the 34 years, 35 years plus law school. Without them, this job would have been really, really tough. It's, like I said, it's been an honor. It's tough, but I find it it is the most rewarding thing that I've ever done. I really respect this job and this office. Thank you very much.
You're next. Come on up. Yeah, move over here. There you go.
Just a few after comments. This prosecutor's office for years has been the gold standard in the state of Michigan. And I remember as a kid, there was a commercial about the Pepsi challenge, you know, Pepsi and Coke were going at it and they would say, take the Pepsi challenge. I'd take the Pepsi challenge, put this prosecutor's office up against any in the state. There are some that are bigger, but you have tremendous talent and experience. Jeff Taylor's here today. Jeff is still giving some of his time, which is much appreciated, because people like Jeff, Jerry, Mark Sanford, Courtney, they are the institutional memory of that office. And you know, and Amy is another prosecutor in a long line of people who've done an outstanding job. You said 7? Let's see, so Art Cotter, Angela Pasula, Dennis Wiley, Jim Cherry, Steve Perangeli, Mike Sepik. Okay, so so that was after Judge Wiley left and became judge then. And he already, no, he was still there. Okay, so he became judge in 95 then maybe? Okay, all right. Anyway, we are really fortunate. I think we're the 11th county in the state by population, but Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, some of these other counties have more bodies, but they don't do any better than Berrien County. And Jerry is one of those people who is why that's always been the case. So excellent prosecutor. And I asked him when we were out in the hall, I said, are you going to come back and do any part-time? He said, no, I've got one more trial to finish and then that's it. And he's earned it. I mean, I know if he wanted to come and fill in, you'd be more than happy, all of you, to have it. I mean, having Jeff, I'm sure, is a great benefit. But anyway, just wanted to give my 2 cents. I've worked with this office for north of 40 years, going back to when Paul Maloney was prosecutor. And anyway, well done. Pardon? Yes, ma'am.
I have the privilege of knowing Jerry in a different capacity outside of the courts and prosecuting office. I know his family. And I've seen Jerry many a times at the fair or at what we call cow camp for showing with the Schuler Dairy Farm, where he's out there lending a hand with his kids. And I just wonder if your kids would echo the same thing that was put in the resolution, that you're firm but flexible with them. But I do have to say, knowing your children, it's a testament to who you are, the cloth that you're cut from, and to know that that's a part of the fiber that was a part of the prosecuting office. I echo your words. of just being bar none, top notch. So thank you for your time, your service and dedication to the county.
Thank you.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Eaton Park. When our kids were playing baseball, I'd see Jerry there quite often. And I don't remember the particulars. It was a tournament. And it was back and forth, lead changing almost with each inning or half of an inning. And I think Buchanan won. And as I recall, my son had an inside the park home run. Kid was faster than lightning. And Jerry was gracious and kind and congratulating. But you know, those were tough games. Those were talented kids, and it was just great fun to be there. And you blink your eye, and all of a sudden, 20 years go by. But anyway, we'll miss seeing you, but hopefully at the fair, if not someplace else. So, did you have anything you wanted to share, Amy?
Sure. I think this is more attention than Jerry wants, so I'm gonna keep it really short. Obviously, I've worked with Jerry my entire career here at the prosecutor's office, and I know his name is always gonna be synonymous with integrity and intelligence and a personal style that really is rarely seen outside the pages of GQ. So his resolution may last another 35 years, but Jerry's gonna look exactly like this in 35 years. I'm sure of it. But it's been an honor to work with him and to learn from him. Thank you.
But before we move on, Jerry, just so you know, Commissioner Yarbrough said he looks too young to retire.
Like Social Security.
Yeah. All right. We have other things to do. I'm guessing all of you do as well. So we're fine with, if we take a moment and you want to cut out, we won't be offended. Thank you. We'll go to committee reports. Mr. Chair of Admin, you're up first.
Thank you, Matt. Let's see, first in to see us was our road department director, Mark Heiliger. And I think he also went to finance. And that was explaining the resolution that we already approved. Don Trail was in to see us, gave us an update on the building and grounds, the deferred maintenance list. And then Brian and the vice chair was in to see us and made themselves available, answer any questions that we may have had on the budget from this morning. And that is our report.
Friends for admin? Finance ready?
Yes, Vice Chairman.
Madam, or Vice Chair Hinkleman is going to do the report for finance.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we worked through our meeting very quickly today. We had a administrator, vice chair was in today, and so we had a report from Brian. One question was asked early on about the marijuana revenue, and that totals $1.5 million. I don't know if you shared that with everybody else, but that's the revenue for the marijuana tax. We also visited with Mark Heilinger. That's already been reported out on. The administration committee provided concurrence, and then we provided the signed resolution for what they're going through right now. And of course, as you guys all know, we got the timing issue with their budget, and they're working their way through that. We approved the minutes. We did not have any bid openings. The resolutions that we had today have already all been passed and signed. We don't have anything forthcoming for the next week. We had one waiver. The waiver that we had was from King Media, and it was the opposite of the tax on the marijuana. It was the reasons why you shouldn't use marijuana. And so we're utilizing their talents again in through the health department. I didn't see them on there, but I assume that's who was doing that. So that's the campaign for the reasons not to use marijuana. So and we're utilizing them again. Other than that, is there anything I've missed? I think so.
Questions for finance? Mr. Chair of PHS.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We also met this morning. We had an advanced step hire request from the Public Defender's Office that we reviewed and approved. And we had met with Jill Adams and Don Trail to talk about lighting down at Silver Beach. And so the inclination of the committee was to go ahead with the short-term fix and then start to look at a methodology to revise and fund the high-level long-term fix for Silver Beach. So that's going to take a bit of effort and work. We did review and approve the resolution regarding salary changes for the electeds and non-unions, and so you've already acted on that. We had a lengthy discussion with Elvin Gonzalez and Greg Skipper regarding the juvenile center staffing. They presented some detail on some of the challenges they have as far as attracting and putting candidates in a position where they're eligible to be hired, such as meeting the minimums, educational requirements, passing a drug test, going through a skill assessment regarding their personality to dealing with youthful offenders. And so that was very informative. We talked a bit about the long-term placement of residential youth and the cost associated with that. So it was a good discussion, and undoubtedly there'll be additional work being done. We also did meet with our administrator and vice chair. We talked about the strategic planning process and some of the topics that the committee felt needed to be considered. And I think that's, we'll take that under advisement and move forward when that process starts. And the only other thing we did talk about, we're going to defer. I know that you've been marking your calendar for the start of the evaluation process for our corporate counsel and administrator. We're going to defer that till after the first of the year. We've just got too many balls in the air right now. And so just so you're aware.
And there's no truth to this persistent rumor that it's been deferred past Christmas to allow opportunities for gift giving.
You never want to get rid of them before Christmas, you know, that's, you never.
Oh my goodness.
I'll offer no comments on those statements. Thank you.
That's wise, he said.
Is that your report? Any questions for PHS? Okay, it says on my agenda, board appointments. Are we doing some board appointments?
On the back of your agenda, it's the last page.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. I'm supposed to reappoint Ray to Community Corrections Advisory Board for a term that expires 12/31/2028. Do you want to stay on there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're appointed then. Admin Committee has 2 appointments. Deb Panazzo to Community Corrections Advisory Board, term ending 12/31/27. And Robert Tahaney, same board, same term. Those are reappointments, actually.
That's correct. Yes,
Okay,
and I'll make that motion to
All right.
appoint those, reappoint those.
is there support?
I'll support.
Moved by Curran, supported by Tyler. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, those are done. And then finance has several. Reappointing, these are all reappointments. Robert Cultus to the Trust Advisory Committee expiring 6/7/28. Dale Kreitner to the Land Bank Authority, term expiring 5/22/29. Catherine Hoykamp to the Land Bank Authority, term expiring 5/22/29. Hannah Laysam to Public Transportation Local Advisory Board, expiring 1/1/28. Cindy Gray to the Public Transportation Local Advisory Board, and same expiration date. And then Maureen Adams to the Public Transportation Advisory Board, also 1/1/28. Is there a motion to make those
I
appointments,
make that
ma'am?
motion.
Okay, those appointments are all moved by Yarborough. Is there support? Supported by Hinkleman. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, all those appointments are done and effective today, Madam Clerk. All right, we'll go to commissioner reports and we'll work clockwise.
First of all, I'd like to wish everybody very sincere, happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. One thing I did forget to mention in the report is that the Finance Committee should not have to meet prior to the end of the year this year. So I just wanted to, it's so sad for us. So anyway, other than that, that's all. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
No report?
No formal report, but my son turned 1. Please pray for me. I am now chasing him around the house.
Oh, it's gonna get fun.
Why did you have to? Thank you.
That's worse than having a puppy, you know. Ma'am.
Last Thursday, Commissioner Freeling and Commissioner Werfel and I were in attendance at the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. We approved the Harbor Shores Parcel 1 and 2 Brownfield Plan, which will go to the city of St. Joe on January 12th. The project's going to take about 6 to 7 years. It will be done in 3 phases with a hotel, restaurant, and 216 units. Next year, what we're going to just see on the property is land development. And then in 27, they'll begin construction. So the whole entire project would be completed in 2036. So that's a ways down. Also, we approved a Harbor Shores promissory note, and we were looking at a 5-year term with 4% interest. If you have things to add later. Also, this week I attended the City of Niles meeting, and on the agenda was the memo of understanding for the mobile CAD. I spoke a little bit on it at the meeting. It was approved, so you have the City of Niles blessing. That's all for my report.
Let's see, last Thursday, BCAT, still doing the planning. Berrien County Historical Association, what they've decided to do in the interim is John Moga is the curator. They're gonna make him the temporary administrator. So they bumped his salary, and so they're not going to search for an executive director. They're gonna see if John will fit into that position. If he does, he'll stay. If not, it's on a probationary period, and they'll replace him. Southwest Michigan Planning Commission, basically the Graham Woodhouse Award, and that's my report.
Monday attended the Material Management Planning Committee. I told you last time we were having trouble getting together 3 working groups. We are whittled that down to 2 working groups now. There'll be one involved with policy and then one involved with educating the public. And there's 5 members on each of those, and in a combination of people from Berrien County, Cass, and Van Buren making up that those working boards. And then also our main board is going to be meeting now on Wednesdays instead of Mondays. Same time, it's going to be 1 o'clock. Presently, we're still meeting out at Pokagon and Dowagiac, but if we get a new chair, then that may change. But I doubt whether that happens unless we have a volunteer that wants to jump into that spot. Also yesterday attended 3 minutes of the Public Works meeting. We're working on a bond proposal for the Coloma Watervliet wastewater treatment facility for $1.618 million. We should have a resolution, according to Dan, ready for meeting on the 15th. And like I said, that was quick meeting. We got here at 9:28 and left at 9:35. That's my report.
Nope. No, I can't top that. No formal report. Just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. For me, I love it because my boys are young enough, 5, 8, and 11, where Christmas is enjoyable, even when other family members are there. Also, don't forget, on January 1st to eat a spoonful of sauerkraut, because that will bring you financial success. Don't forget. So other than that, hope everyone enjoys the no meetings for 2 weeks.
So I attended the BCAT meeting as well as a meeting with the Drain Commissioner regarding the Grand Mayor outlet into Lake Michigan, and then the CEO Council down at Watermark. And then a reminder, tonight is the Christmas party at the Juvenile Center, 5 to 7. So that's a very enjoyable event. And so I'm sure they'll let you come if you so desire.
I too attended BCAT, Brownfield, and Southwest Michigan Planning Commission. All of those have been thoroughly covered, so thanks for that. And then I just wondered if in other business, maybe before we go into closed session, if we could have a conversation about strategic planning and looking at getting that scheduled so that staff can kind of work on getting that sort of buttoned up and get a plan in front of us to consider. So, thank you.
I have something that I want to do and say and show. About 3 years ago, the city of Benton Harbor named the Benton Harbor Public Library the Mamie L. Yarbrough Public Library. And everybody says, where's your name? Where are the words? And our building needs work. And I said, well, they're working to stop the slate from sliding or whatever before they put them on. And I was busy yesterday, but I looked on my phone later, I had calls everywhere because I want to show you that they are putting the letters up and probably doing it today. But I want to show you, help me, I don't know how to do this. Oh, here it is. And could you pass it around or something to show them? There are about 3 of them. And on here, this is on the back part of the building facing the park. And there is one sculpture. We have a number of sculptures on the building, on the library and by world famous sculptors. And the one on the back is Neptune, which is the Greek god for water. And this shows you what artists do. They thought about this is facing the St. Joe River, which is water. This is facing Lake Michigan, which is water. And so that's what that little sculpture is that's under. Crasso, when they clean their sculptures, they often call the library to see if we want our sculptures cleaned. And when they do, about 2 days later, the bird nests are back in there. And that's why you see that where the water has run. But we have people that care, that know and understand what those things are. And so I was late this morning. This time I had an excuse because I went by there and stopped and took the picture.
Thank you, my dear.
So thank you. Thank you for letting me tell you a story. Tell my story. And it'll be more, because they wonder what is that building from Main Street? You know, when the Liberty Theater fell down, it's an alley and it's a building with nothing on it. And so when people go down Main Street, they say, what is that? And there will be a name on that part also, I believe.
Send that picture over to Milan.
Huh? Oh, you saw
Send that picture over to Milan
Yeah, they're
so
on
the
there.
grandkids can see it.
Yeah, and Deland too, Dawn, my daughter.
Oh, yes.
Grew up,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anything?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just as a reminder to BCAT members, if you could stop and see me before you leave today, going to just talk to you quickly about a meeting on Tuesday. I'm sorry for the scheduling. I know it's the holiday season, but we will have a transportation meeting or a transit meeting that day. That's item 1. Item 2 is as it relates to strategic planning, if the board is desirous of moving in that direction, Michigan State University Extension has offered to do it at no charge as part of their service agreement provided to the county. They have laid out a tentative schedule that again is up to the board, but they've been targeting the 5th Thursdays in the various months in 2026. If the board is ready, they could start on that 5th Thursday in January, and they would envision that by late April, they could have an updated plan ready for you all. So if this is something you all would like to do, MSU Extension is eager and they have staff that are assigned and have done a variety of strategic plans for other counties.
Anybody have any thoughts on that? Yeah.
I really would love for us to look at engaging MSU Extension to begin the discussion. I think the current strategic plan that we have sort of sunsets at the end of ARPA. And a lot of that was kneeling around the funding we had received from ARPA. And I just think that it would help to give Brian and the rest of staff the guidance of what our next objectives are going to be moving forward. And just to have that conversation in a little less formal format than what we have here for the board. Those are my thoughts.
Yes, sir.
As we drift down this path of strategic planning, I think it's something we also need to consider Bering County as not the county government, but the county as a separate entity. You know, the great concerns over some of the continuing population loss, the lack of educational attainment by a number parts of the community, the lack of new employers coming to the community. So there's the environment that we operate in, I think also needs to have some consideration. And I'm not sure what the boundary is to do that, but I think it might help us identify what our priorities as a county government might be. If the county as a total is not doing well, there's no way the government can function in a highly effective manner. And so I think that should be an aspect of what we consider with MSU. I'm not sure the level of detail or whatever, but there are some storm clouds on the horizon that I think we need to keep in mind.
Yes, sir.
That's a great point that Bob made, just to add on to it. I think that in this ecosystem of the county, I think it's going to be extremely important that the county board is abreast and understands the master plans of the municipalities within the county and understanding what their trajectory is so that we can, as we're building what we want to do, like accent and help out and kind of fill in gaps where they are, or push projects that we know are going to do well where the county can be helpful.
Any other thoughts? Okay, well, that'll be on our to-do list after the first of the year. And we'll also want to communicate with the other elected officials so that it's not simply a Board of Commissioners endeavor, but see, we have the treasurer and the register of deeds here, and clerk, and thinking back, we had a series of meetings at the Cook plant. I don't know if they still have their visitor center open there or not, but they had a big conference room there. And we had meetings, all the electeds. We brought in some of our key appointeds, and even at some sessions had representatives from the various collective bargaining units, and then folks from the community, you know, the major employers in the community, of course, Cook being one of them, and tried to make it a clearinghouse for gathering information and hopefully arriving at consensus on priorities. But that was done, I can tell you, in 1992. Mike Henry was the administrator then. And I remember Judge Taylor, Ron Taylor, was the chief judge back then. And he wanted to talk about an experiment that the state was considering called a trial court, a unified court. So whether that has withstood the test of time very well is a matter of opinion. Some say yes, some maybe wouldn't be quite so sure, but it goes back that far. And so hopefully we can put this together and it'll be time well spent. So anything else before we look at general public comments, announcements, reminders, and then go into closed session? Okay, Adolph, have you anything to share?
Elder Hager. Well, I still think those people that were sitting there, those two over there too, they should have a badge on or some kind of identification like you guys have. Now, how come they don't have one then? So it's, like I told you, when I was teaching at Benton Harbor High School, I had to wear one. My picture on it wasn't anything like this. Okay, now, here's something I got off the phone text. Says the real reason why we cannot have the Ten Commandments posted in the courthouse. You can't pass, like for example, steal. Thou shalt not steal. And another one was thou shalt not commit adultery. And another one was thou shalt not, well, you guys moved out of there. It mentions the politicians too. Now you think about that. You know, you probably be working your way up to the White House up there. Those guys are a bunch of thieves. You know how much in debt we are? Of course, they don't, the newspapers, they don't tell you about that. 38 trillion dollars. You know how many zeros are on $1 trillion? Ever see that number? So many numbers, we run out of paper almost. How in the hell they can get away with that? Where's your budget? You got so much money to spend. That's because all those guys are crooks, really, as far as I'm concerned. Now, you want something passed, you come to me. I'm gonna say, well, if I vote for this, what's in it for me?
2 minutes, sir.
Here's a $100 bill, all right? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pelzer. Anyone else wish to be heard? Yes, sir.
Chairman and county commissioners, elected officials in the room, coordinator, and corporate counsel. I want to say on behalf of the sheriff and sheriff's department, congratulations to Jerry Vigansky, and he will be missed. I tell you, I sat as a case officer on 2 of those murder trials he did, and the dedication and passion he's got for that job will be missed. I just wanted to publicly say that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Under Sheriff. Ladies, did you have anything you wish to share other than the pleasure of your company?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Okay, and Adolph, Merry Christmas to you too.
Merry Christmas.
See you next year, yeah.
Okay. Announcements. We're closed on the 25th. I think we're closed on the 26th also, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, New Year's Day will be closed. So we won't have our organizational meeting till the 8th, which is the very latest it can be. And that's going to be at 8:35. And then I don't think we have a 10:30 meeting that day, right? Okay, unless something comes up and we need to. So are we doing anything after we come out of closed session? Okay, so this is it. Minutes will be approved from the prior one. No minutes? Okay. Well, then all of you listening out there, all the ships at sea, this is it in terms of what we're going to be putting out on YouTube. So we will see all of you on YouTube on the 8th of January. Is there a motion to go into closed session under the attorney-client privilege to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute. Moved by Volrath. Is there support? Supported by Ott. And that was your motion and that was your support, right? Okay. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Freeling.
Yes.